Tony Khan lost CM Punk, he lost the ratings, and now it would appear he has lost his mind, because this Wednesday on Dynamite it is being advertised that the Young Bucks are going to present backstage footage from AEW All in London. Welcome back, guys, to Fog Wrestling. CM Punk has left AEW, he's left that sinking ship, he's jumped to the WWE, albeit yes, he was injured, but he played a big part in WrestleMania 40 Night 2. He cost Drew McIntyre the World Heavyweight Championship. I'm sure he's happy with his life, I'm sure he's happy with his career, but one man who is certainly not happy is Tony Khan, and he's not going to let this go. It looks like he's going to try and get success back on AEW with the expense of CM Punk. And speaking of not being happy, it was Tony Khan that was allegedly so unhappy that he feared for his life during the backstage confrontation between CM Punk and Jack Perry. That led to CM Punk getting fired. Jack Perry has now been suspended. Will he ever be back? Who knows? But we will see CM Punk back on Dynamite this Wednesday when the Young Bucks, of all people, the people that started this shit, the people that CM Punk has heat with, the Young Bucks are going to present footage from the incident and they will discuss it for the first time. Now, we don't know how in detail they're going to go. We don't know what sort of footage we're going to get. But according to Brian Alvarez, he believes that we're going to see the real deal and that it's not some bait and switch tactic to try and draw a rating. Tony Khan is legitimately going to show all this footage just to see if it can bring success. So it is going to be, I think, definitely worth checking out Dynamite for, just to purely see if the footage is shown. If it is shown, then that would be crazy. And could you imagine if it is shown and it paints CM Punk in a negative light? Now, CM Punk has already said what happened. He did an interview last week saying what happened, and then after that interview, Tony Khan has decided that he's going to release this footage. So has CM Punk maybe said something that wasn't necessarily true? Is that triggered Tony Khan into releasing this, or does Tony Khan just believe it's a good time to try and profit off CM Punk? CM Punk's come out and done an interview, he's got a lot of people talking, there's been a lot of hype for this interview, the interview's been getting a lot of views, people have been talking about it. Does Tony Khan think that he can benefit from this interview by doing something of his own and showing this on Dynamite? Potentially. Now, Dave Meltzer put out a tweet saying, quote, AEW will be airing the Punk Perry footage on Wednesday. We'll discuss that on tonight's show. End of quote. And Brian Alvarez, who works with Dave, also put out the following tweet, quote, yes, Tony is airing the Punk/Jungle Boy footage on Wednesday. It's not a bait and switch, end of quote. So both Meltzer and Alvarez saying that this is going to be shown on Wednesday. Then Dave Meltzer replied to someone who says, we're finally going to see what Tony Khan was fearing, why Tony Khan, was fearing for his life. And Meltzer replied to this guy, quote, from what I'm told, that footage won't be shown, different times, only the Perry footage, end of quote. Now, I'm pretty sure when Tony Khan said he was left fearing for his life, was he not talking, I don't know, was he talking about the backstage brawl with the dog, or was he talking about the Jack Perry footage? I'm not too sure. I still can't believe that Tony Khan came out and said that. I thought Tony Khan was fearing for his life at All in London. Meltzer appears to be saying that it wasn't. Tony Khan was fearing for his life apparently with the interaction between Punk and the Young Bucks and Ace Steel. So I don't know if Meltzer's got that right or not, but I'm pretty sure Khan said he was fearing for his life during All in London. Either way, we're getting Tony Khan showing footage between two guys that are no longer employed in his company, or at least one guy that's no longer employed and one guy that's currently not there. The guy that's no longer employed, CM Punk, is in WWE. He's moved on. He has forgotten. He's put AEW in the past, yet Tony Khan is desperate to try and show this footage and try and pop a rating off of CM Punk. We've seen Dynamite the last, 5 weeks? 3 of the last 5 weeks have been under 800,000, and the other 2 weeks have been 800 and 801,000 respectively. So yeah, look, this is not good for Dynamite. It's not good for Tony Khan. He needs to address the ratings. He needs to do something, and this is just not really the answer. Yes, I mean, it could pop a rating. I think this certainly could be the highest rated quarter we've seen AEW do in a very long time, especially if it goes on first. But is this long term going to help AEW? No. It's just going to be like a 1 week only thing, a 1 quarter only thing, and then they're going to be back to doing what they normally do after that. So Tony Khan needs to get different ideas. You can't just show old footage of CM Punk at your company and expect that to somehow be a game changer. Expect that to be a draw. I mean, this must be a shit weekend for Tony Khan, or a shit week. Punk's came out bashing AEW, saying that he doesn't respect AEW, saying that Tony Khan is not a leader, not a boss, and then we see Cody Rhodes, a guy that walked out on AEW, be crowned, the main man in WWE, the champion. He won night 2 of WrestleMania. So I mean, Tony Khan must be sitting here thinking, God damn it, I had CM Punk, I had Cody Rhodes, and now I have none of these guys. I have nothing. Tony Khan has got absolutely nothing, and that's what he deserves, because he's Tony Khan and he's an idiot. But look, I'll definitely check out Dynamite this week. I'm excited to see what happens, see how bad this footage is. I mean, it could be edited, it could be doctored as well, so who knows what we're going to get. I think it will be interesting, but I believe Tony Khan will have to deliver now. He's promoted this, he's advertised this, so he's got to show something. If he shows this and it's like really tame and it doesn't do anything, then people are just going to fucking be even more pissed with Tony Khan. So yeah, I think he will show pretty much the full thing. What we're going to see though, I do not know. It will be weird though if he does actually show this and it's like a real life brawl, scuffle between 2 wrestlers. I don't think we've seen that being aired before. But yeah, we'll see what happens, guys, on Wednesday. Definitely worth checking out, I believe, because of that. I'll catch you guys in the next one. Till then, peace.